Hey everybody, Hoaxtead is imploding. So just wanted to make a quick video here to bring your attention to some updates around this whole Hoaxtead troll thing, and also the website that we put together, the whoishoaxteadkarenerving.home.blog website. It's got all the evidence on there, all the different files. There's some different areas. Let me just show you what they are real quick, and then I'll give you some highlights from the latest post here. We've got a contact. If you wanted to ever contact me, you can do so through the form right here. Also, if you wanted to use that to send me any of your documentation that maybe you would like me to publish for you, I've been more than happy to do that. I've had some people come forward that are asking for, basically saying that they have the same experiences, and if you guys have any of your own evidence or screenshots you'd like me to put up or add to these files, I can certainly do that. There's also evidence files over here. And in the evidence files area, you will find basically these are all Google Drive links. So I set up a Google Drive, and on the Google Drive I put just everything that I've been collecting over the last 3 years or so. So there's videos, there's screenshots, there's full blog posts for everything that Hoaxtead has done to me over the last 3 years. So if you want to go and look up any of that, there's some Google Drives right there. And by the way, that Google Drive is not like a free public Google Drive. That's actually something I pay for. I paid for the upgraded version, so it's double hard to get anything deleted from there, just so you know. It's pretty rock solid, and it's going to stay there. So that's where I'm putting the evidence files. There's also a videos page that I created, and I thought this would be easier for anyone who is like new to this, or they want to just kind of say, well, walk me through step by step what are the most important videos. So I made this one page here that has embedded videos of all the different articles that I've been putting together. If you wanted to follow the story, so you can see there, some of them are from YouTube, some of them are from Google Drive embeds, some of them are from Vimeo, but they're all here on one page, and they're all publicly available, so you can go and watch them if you'd like, and they're in order. So I thought that'd be easier to kind of sift through all the information. And then there's also a memes gallery. Been having a little bit of fun making some memes, so if you feel the need, you can always copy these photos and share them around. Memes of all different kinds of people, all different kinds of things. If you have any memes of your own you want me to add them to this page, let me know. But these just kind of came to me. Anyway, with that said, you can keep going through if you want to see more of the memes. Let me just read to you some highlights from the latest blog, because there's been some updates that's been going on with this whole thing. So I started with saying in this post we're going to talk about a lot of things that Karen does not want to talk about. Her job is to throw as many red herrings and distractions at her audience as she can, in hopes that you will forget some of the major things that have been exposed against her will. And there's been quite a few things have happened in the last couple of months around this Hoaxtead operation, which appears to be quickly imploding in on itself. For over 4 years, Hoaxtead operated in the shadows as a bunch of sock puppet accounts run by anonymous cowards. Then everything changed when Karen Irving was outed. Layer by layer, the real people and motives behind this blog have been exposed, and the reasons are very telling. So I provide a summary here. Since this blog has been published, I've been receiving contacts and updates from several other victims of Hoaxtead's targeting. They have at least 100. They have 86 stalking files and 100 people or more that they have trolled. So these people have been contacting me privately, a bunch of them, and just basically saying thanks for what you're doing. Yeah, they've been screwing around with me, and everybody has their own story with Hoaxtead, because Hoaxtead's been very busy for years now. So we're all kind of getting in touch. All the different victims or targets, we were all kind of talking to each other. But the thing is that, we all come from really different backgrounds. So just because we talk to each other doesn't mean that we're all interested in the same things. Like, some people are interested in one area, and, I work for myself with free energy stuff, and people are into different legal movements. It's like all different kinds of stuff, but we have one thing in common, and that is Hoaxtead has been trolling us to death for the last 4 or 5 years, and we all don't like Satanists. That's the biggest thing. So we got that in common. Anyway, in addition to these people coming to me, I do know that reports have been filed by several people in the UK with the UK authorities for Malicious Communication Act violations against Karen and some others. So these things are still being processed, but there's actually legal stuff being filed. I would be kind of nervous if I were Karen, but it's her prerogative. She doesn't seem to be very nervous. Maybe not a good idea to keep flaunting your face all over YouTube and screaming like a maniac, but just my thought. Yeah, some people here, if you want to read this article, I kind of go into it. There's been people that have been coming forward that used to know Karen in her past, and they've got some information that they've been dropping about, her history and her reputation and her old community where she used to live in Canada, and people that knew her and things that happened there, and they weren't really happy with her. So you can read that, get some more details. Another thing, like I said earlier, is that other targets of the Hoaxtead blog, they are coming forward, but they're also collecting their own records. I've had a few people say, I have all these records, I have these screenshots, these videos, I have everything, I've saved everything that they've ever done to me. So if you've got that kind of stuff and you want to add it to this library, the whole point of me doing any of this was just to create a record of evidence. And this is the kind of thing where if any of these bozos was ever dragged into a court, this record of evidence would be shown hopefully in front of a non-corrupt jury, and they could see just how much these people have been trolling other people, and that does violate some pretty serious laws, especially in the UK. So if you've got evidence and you want me to add it to this library so it's all in one place, please contact me through the contact form, and I'd be more than happy to put it up for you. Also, likewise, if you want to write an article with your story or something, I'll do that too. We can put that up here if you'd like. Right, so Hoaxtead's, so basically what they're doing right now is they're censoring everything that they can. I've seen them getting people's Facebook accounts shut down and getting their YouTube accounts shut down, and they've done this in the past where they've really sped it up, and they're doing everything they can to censor, try to get videos removed, putting in reports on all kinds of stuff, because they are really not happy with all the stuff that's been coming out. So they're doing everything that they can to get it off the internet. It worked a little, but not really. It's out there, and you can't take everything down. So so that's some of the updates, and I've seen a lot of it. And by the way, we've had some more victories. Some of their videos have come down. Some of their videos have been blocked for defamation. And also we've got some strikes on some of their channels that have happened from other people reporting. And in addition to that, at least 1 or 2 of their trolling channels has been removed from YouTube in the last week or so. Hoaxtead is a net of lies. They fabricate criminal reports, pretend to have legal standing, omnipresent jurisdiction over the whole world, and base everything off of corrupt kangaroo court systems. Most of what they do is a house of cards, an illusion that is rapidly shattering before our eyes. The entire operation exists solely as the front lines of a massive cover-up of exposing SRA and pedophile rings in the UK. So, I just kind of put some stuff in here. I said, let's talk about the corrupt court systems of the UK, and this goes into the background of the original case, different ways that the whole court case was just messed up. I'm not the authority on this at all. There's some other blogs out there that have really done much better articles on things that happened. I think Dearman Does Hampstead is a really good one. If you want to Google that, there's a whole bunch of articles on there that talks about how the case was really screwed up and justice was not served. So I just wanted to do that there. I also wanted to talk about, kind of the climate in the UK. Everybody's getting arrested and sanctioned and all kinds of stuff. So there is definitely like a very intense police state kind of climate that's going on over there, that's different from other countries in the world, so let's take that into consideration. I do feel bad because there's a lot of good people that are in the UK that I know and I'm friends with, and not everybody is one of these Hoaxtead Satanists. It's just a few people actually that's a Hoaxtead Satanist. The rest of the people are just actually suffering from some of the stuff that's going on over there as far as their laws are concerned. So yeah, and also there's a video that came out. You can check this out. It's on YouTube. A group of 9 social workers just broke into a man's house in the UK with a taser to forcibly section him in this horrifying video. And by the way, this guy, they were trying to say that he was mentally ill, but he had like kidney failure or something like that. So he was sick, and they broke into his house. He's totally sane. He's not mentally ill. But this is the kind of stuff that they do. They'll just break into your house, claiming that they're social workers. Anyway, we were horrified when we saw it. So there's a link to that video there so you can watch it for yourself. The whole thing was caught on camera. It was really something. Yeah, I have this thing here. This title here is "Let's Talk About Hoaxtead's Fabrication of Criminal Records." And I just put one example up there. But let me tell you something. I have seen them do this with so many people. So I just wanted to kind of bring this out. They will just throw out a whole bunch of offenses and dates and so on and so forth, and they'll make like a list of supposed criminal offenses, and because they think they're judge, jury, and executioner basically. But when they put this stuff together and it's like these are somebody's offenses and they're criminals, don't believe any of it, guys. I actually looked into this myself, and I was trying to find if I could validate if any of these things were true, if any of them were like publicly available. Nothing. I've seen them do this with many people, including myself. When I try to look into any of their allegations or look at their evidence, it is all vapors. Nothing then can be verified or validated by any real third party. It's all fake, folks. You should be able to look stuff like this up in some kind of like criminal records database or something online, which I did, and I found nothing. They made all these things up. That's what they do. They just make it up and expect you to believe it. It's laughable, really. Okay, then I have a thing here. Let's talk about the bogus protected witness. There is the main person behind this blog, and basically every time you mention his name, they all freak out and say he's protected witness. You can't say his name. Hoaxtead goes on and on about a protected witness and want you to believe that no person in the entire world is allowed to even say his name. And if they do, they will immediately be sectioned or thrown in jail. They constantly put red censorship marks over screenshots of the other people's comments who say his name or use his picture. No, really. They get all bent out of shape over this. Why? Because he's their boss. He's even Karen's boss. He started the Hoaxtead blog. He hired Karen to run it, and also over 50% of the comments and content on the Hoaxtead blog are all him. All Ricky, all the time. Notice how Hoaxtead will pound out thousands of articles using innocent people's legal names and photos, but they don't do anything about him, right? So here we go. Recently I asked for some sort of proof that there was a court order in place that actually protects this guy and forbids you to say his name. I also wanted to see that any other such order had jurisdiction in countries outside of jolly old England, and guess what? There isn't any. Hoaxtead will give you links to their blog posts as the evidence. This isn't real, folks. However, what happened to those kids in Hampstead is. Let's talk about the open confession of kiddie porn trafficking that took place on the Hoaxtead website. I put here a full comment. You might have to blow it up if you wanted to read it fully. It's also covered in another video that I did called the Satanic Roots Behind the Hoaxtead Operation. Basically, they got, there's several of them that are Satanists, but there's this one guy, James Hind, and he rocks up on the Hoaxtead blog, and he's like, I am going into these kiddie porn websites, and I'm just there just to, to see what's going on. I'm just checking them out, and they're saying all these horrible things, and these kids are like 12 years old, and he's like literally engaging in kiddie porn websites and talking about it on the Hoaxtead blog, and all the other people were commenting. You can go look at this post of theirs. Here's the link. It's called Sean of SGT Report supports a self-confessed child abuser. That's the name of the article. Go to their blog, look that up, and you will find this comment thread. And it's like, I'm so disturbed. I'm shocked that Hoaxtead would be stupid enough to allow this conversation to be published. I know Karen looks at those comments and lets them go through or not go through. They're also really stupid to let this guy post on their blog, because it just destroys any credibility that they ever thought they could have ever. But it actually destroyed that way in the beginning, back in like 2016. Somebody who said, like, how can you have a Satanist on your blog calling himself a Satanist and expect us to not think that you're all Satanists? Anyway. Yeah, and then I have, let's talk about how Karen Irving has incriminated herself for the last 4 years. Let's talk about Hoaxtead data mining, a warning to others targeted by Hoaxtead. Okay, so I'm going to read this one out loud because it's pretty important. One of the main purposes of this trolling operation is to gather personal data on targets. They have many different tactics that they use. All of this is outlined in great detail in a presentation that I did showing the GCHQ training manual of online covert operations against the target. You click that, that's a link to another article here that gives a full presentation that's on YouTube. With this being said, I have had more attempts to data mine my personal information than I can count. These attempts range from people asking me a series of extremely inappropriate questions about my personal details that they have no business knowing, to baiting tactics used by internet trolls. The latter is what I want to discuss and warn other targets about. Hoaxtead trolls use baiting tactics in the following manner. They make up a bold lie about your personal life and flaunt it in front of your face in order to get you to emotionally react and defend yourself. It's through this emotional reaction that you voluntarily give out your personal information to them. This is how they harvest your data, which they then will use to attack you or hurt you later on. Karen has done this to me many times and is perplexed when I don't fall for it. One of her recent comments made about me, where she said, I don't understand, nothing phases her. No matter what we say about her, we make fun of her weight, her religion, and nothing seems to faze her. With that said, should any normal person outside of the Hoaxtead trolling operation ever wish to know anything about me or my business, the information is very easily available on any one of my business websites. Technical information about our energy project is also available in very high quality detail, might I add, on these websites. If you wanted to know our story, we made a feature-length documentary film addressing that. Any information about our products, our research, or our business is all there and easy to read. However, if you want to know my physical house address, or my banking details, or my medical documentation, or my social security number, or explicit details of my family members, or any other private information about me, tough luck. Let's talk about Karen's ignorance of other cultures and religions. So, this is just something that I wanted to update you on because I've seen this happen a lot. Basically, they'll look at another country. They think they can get another country to do their bidding. They think they can just point their finger at whoever they want and say whatever they want and accuse them. So here's Karen posting an article referencing me in the conversation, basically saying she thinks she can get me arrested in a foreign country. For what? For what? What are you going to arrest me for? I haven't done anything, but they think that they can just point their finger at somebody and get them arrested. because they think they're judge, jury, and executioner, and they have no records, because most of the people that they're attacking are innocent. They're the ones that have something to hide. That's the problem. The other thing that I just wanted to bring out here is that Morocco is a theocracy, which basically means that they still include God in their laws. Here it's 98% Sunni Muslim, and in Morocco, Satanism and homosexuality are actually illegal. Those are the laws in Morocco. So I think that the folks at Hoaxtead really need to understand that you can't just troll people, because they have satanic stuff all over their blog, right? They have Satanists saying I'm a Satanist, and they're doing rituals to Odin and all that other stuff, and then they're saying, well, we can go into like another country and another culture and get the police there to do the bidding for us. It's like, that's not gonna fly. Moroccans don't take very well to Satanists, so just so you know that. So here's the headline. I want to talk about Karen's ignorance of expat communities. I'm an expat, and there's been she said all kinds of crazy things around people that live in countries other than the one that they're born in. So I figured I would just kind of put this out here to educate some folks on what it means to be an expat. So worldwide, there's a community of 50.5 million expats. There are people who choose to leave these are people that choose to leave their home country and live in another country. People choose to do this for a variety of reasons, most of which are global business opportunities. Here's a link to an article here. In the last 10 years, there's been a significant growth in the amount of expats in the world. So much so that an entire industry of services offered to expats has emerged to cater to this growing market. There are accounting services for expats to file taxes. There are online notaries for expats for legal or government documentation. There are passport renewal services for expats. There are international lawyers for expats, and yes, there are even marriage services for expats. Shock and awe, I know. Karen doesn't understand any of that stuff, right? So Morocco has a thriving expat community. I came here 5 years ago because I fell in love with this country, its culture, and its people. I also came here because of the treaty between America and Morocco, and an incentive set up by the King of Morocco to invite foreign investors into this country to start up new businesses. And that's what I am. I'm a foreign investor with my own business in Morocco. I know that all of this can be really confusing for people who are not expats or who choose to never leave their country, and there's always open questions around these things. Please be assured, folks, that it really isn't rocket science. You just need to read a lot of international policy and inform yourself on how to live overseas. 50 million people do it every day, and no, Karen, that doesn't make them a fugitive of some kind. Because that's what she thinks everybody is who's living in another country, a fugitive. It's ridiculous. So to finish this off, Hoaxtead got its power from operating in the shadows on anonymous sock puppets, and they're not taking this exposure very well. It's knocking them off their game, and everyone can see it. Plain as the wart on Karen's nose. That's it, folks. So again, check out the new blog here. Different things that I put up. If you want to contact me, please do so through the contact form. That's the best way. You can leave comments on the YouTube videos as well. But thanks for tuning in.